Welcome back to the Trick of the Week. I'm Richard Ribuffo, and this week I offer you something completely different. This week, we're going to go back to the classics of magic. This is a rope trick, and rope tricks are a staple among magicians. You know, usually you will see magicians using anything from metal rings to ropes to coins to even cups and balls, and a lot of it actually is based on the same idea. Being able to take an ordinary object, like a cup and a ball, and doing magical things with it. What I like about the ropes is that you can also demonstrate something from Harry Houdini, which is the concept of escape, being an escape artist. You can have the one rope, the small rope, tied into a loop. Put that through the big one, and tie the ends together. And the idea now is going to be to have the smaller rope escape from the bigger rope without untying the knot. So you see that sucker is on there, right? Not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere, and he has to get through that knot without, I guess, with not being noticed. Here we go. Here we go. Let's see. If we place him on. A little shake. Here we go. Comes right off like so. Right? The hardest part is actually getting it back on. You can rock it back and forth along the knot, but even still, getting it to jump down to the second rung so that way it's on there. There we go. Just like so. Now the sucker's on. There. Come on. There we go. There we go. Now that you're thinking, obviously there's something to do with these, this end here. Well, if I take the ends off, then we eliminate the problem. No ends, no problem. So now I have one continuous loop with one little loop. The only sets of ends are on that little loop right there. And we can put these ends back on. If we want to take that thing off traditionally, we can just take the ends, glide them back up, take them and wrap them around like so. Here we go. Like so. Wrap them around, give a little shake, and they come apart just like that. Allowing the loop to glide right off. What's cool about that is, now that we see that, you know, something interesting, the fact that the knots can come off and that the ends can come off, I say keep a close eye on those ends, because the ends are very, very tricky. If you don't keep a close eye on them, the ends could just pop off, or the ends can jump from one end to the other. Well, actually, I'm confusing myself here. So that's 3 ends, and it's 2 ends here. So if I wanted 3 ends, you'd think I would have 3 ends up here instead of 2 ends. Well, I guess that's 4 ends now. That makes 1, 2, 3, 4. If I have 4 ends, I should have 2 loops, but I have 1 loop. Maybe if I had 2 pieces of rope, that would make a lot more sense. Well, beyond that, I actually have a 3rd piece of rope right here. And they happen to be the same size. Lucky me, that's 1, 2, and 3. 3 pieces of rope, all the same size. If I take the ends and tie them all together, now this is where it gets kind of fun. It's where it gets really fun, actually. Of course, it'd be a lot more fun if I had people here, if I had somebody else here that can join in the fun, that can choose a knot for me. Because you may think it's kind of, might be a little fishy, a little naughty for me to pick my own knot. But let's say, for example, let's say you're here, you're present with me, and you chose this knot on this end. If that was the case, if you were here and you chose this knot, I would untie the ropes and say, that's the end of that. That rope is done. We're done. And now we have 2 pieces of rope tied together to make one long rope. If you want to make that a real long rope, I would suggest grabbing this knot and taking it off, taking the ends off like so, leaving 1 long rope. And if I untie this here, that gives me 1 short rope. That's 1 long, 1 short, 1 medium. And that is rope number 1, rope number 2, and rope number 3. You know, it's fun. Sometimes, even back in the day, the sailors would gamble and say, "I bet you I can tie a knot faster than anybody else." Well, if a magician ever comes up, if anybody ever comes up to you and says, "I bet I can do something impossible. I can tie a knot using one hand in one move," don't take that bet, because what's going to end up happening is you're going to lose your money. So there you go. Some interesting stuff with ropes and knots and fun stuff like that. If you happen to have some ropes lying around your house, pick them up. Try tying some cool things, and maybe you'll make some magic of your own. That's it, folks. Thank you very, very much. Remember, you can always subscribe, which is right here and has been here the entire time. You can subscribe to my YouTube page. You can also like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, @Richard Ribuffo. Thank you guys very much. Have a fantastic rest of your week.